Dan.
For the first time ever, a Canadian Prime Minister has publicly welcomed the Dalai Lama. This was the Dalai Lama's first visit to Canada as an honorary Canadian. Stephen Harper welcomed him on Parliament Hill. Each gave the other a scarf. The two men expected to talk about human rights as well as what's going on in Afghanistan, where earlier today the Dalai Lama said he believes nonviolence is the best way to solve problems. The Dalai Lama also expressed admiration for Canada's multicultural society. Diana Larry joins us now. She's a professor of Chinese history at the University of British Columbia. Ms. Larry, what do you make of this visit?
Well, I think it's wonderful, and I think it's really admirable that he has been received, the Dalai Lama, with the proper respect and honor that he deserves.
Well, I think it might come as a surprise to a lot of Canadians that we said it was the first time the Dalai Lama has been publicly welcomed. I think most Canadians who follow the news know he's been here before. Can you tell us what was happening when he's been here before and why this time is different?
When he came here before, and he's been, I think, 6 or 7 times, he was always given almost rapturous welcomes by people of faith, by people from the Tibetan community, and by people who were interested in Asia altogether. But the governments of the day wouldn't receive him properly. The Liberals under Jean Chrétien, not at all. And later on, under Paul Martin, he was received, but with almost like a backhander in private, as one person of faith to another. So it wasn't at all an official reception.
And of course, every time he's here, the Chinese get their noses out of joint.
They do slightly, yes.
But you're not surprised they would be irritated?
I think it's a sort of pro forma reaction. They made their position clear ages ago on the Dalai Lama that he's a rebellious monk and that he stands for separation, which is actually not true. He just stands for a better position for his people within China. And they always repeat these same arguments. As far as I know, they never make any direct effect at all. So
you don't suppose that this first public welcome and this greeting by the Canadian government and the Prime Minister will have any material effect on the relationship between Canada and China?
I'd be very surprised if it did. I think if they'd gone in the other direction, it might have had an effect, because if anybody or any nation, if you give in to being bullied or told what to do by another nation, the ironic outcome is that they lose respect for you. So I think this is receiving the Dalai Lama properly is a very important way of maintaining respect for Canada in China.
Now, to do it privately in the past, it was done that way to protect trade. I mean, we have heard now for so many years that the Chinese market is the biggest single market on the planet. Yes. We would like a chunk of that trade, but we're not getting it anyway.
We're not getting it anyway because we continue to buy vastly more from China than we sell to China. And until that changes, I don't think you can blame the Chinese for this at all. It's just that there's an insatiable appetite for Chinese goods in this country.
What do you think the Dalai Lama means to the general population?
I think that Dalai Lama, certainly in Canada and in much of the world, is just a wonderful symbol of peace, of kindness. He's one of the few really humorous world leaders. I mean, one of the things that always strikes people when hears him talk is that he laughs all the time, and he laughs about adversity. He's absolutely captivating. When he came here, I heard him speak, and there was an audience which contained everybody who was anybody in BC, in Vancouver altogether. And most of the audience, including myself, were in a state of awe just at being in his presence. So he probably is, I would say, at the moment, the most powerful spiritual person in the world.
Diana Larry, nice talking with you. Thank you very much for your time.
Nice to talk to you.